Might New York be the first jurisdiction to take Donald Trump to trial for just some of his crimes? Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. In one of his criminal cases, this is the one in New York, where he is indicted on 36 felony counts for falsifying business records. Or maybe you've heard this one referred to as the hush money payments case, or maybe you've heard it referred to, and this is what I think is actually most accurate, as his election interference case in 2016, when he, in a very real sense, interfered in the election. How? He made hush money payments to playmates and porn stars to bury deeply damaging information about his suitability to be president, thereby robbing the American voters of the full value of our vote. So this is an election interference case. It's a hush money payment case. And yes, it is a falsifying business records case. And friends, I know it feels like Donald Trump has been playing musical chairs with his criminal cases for so long now, but the music will stop. And Donald Trump will be convicted in one of his cases. Actually, Donald Trump will be convicted in more than one of his criminal cases. Headline: What's at stake in Trump's hush money criminal case? Judge to rule on key issues as trial date nears. Former President Donald Trump is expected in court Thursday for an important hearing in his New York hush money criminal case, which now appears increasingly likely to go to trial next month. Judge Juan Manuel Merchan is set to rule on key pretrial issues and say for certain if the trial will begin as scheduled on March 25th. If that happens, the New York case will be the first of Trump's 4 criminal indictments to go to trial. Trump's lawyers have asked Merchan to dismiss the case entirely. The judge's recent activities suggest that's unlikely to happen. In recent weeks, court records show Merchan has been communicating with defense lawyers and Manhattan prosecutors to plan jury selection for a March trial. Trump's New York case involves an alleged scheme to prevent potentially damaging stories about his personal life from becoming public during his 2016 presidential campaign. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg charged Trump last year with falsifying internal records kept by his company, the Trump Organization, to hide the true nature of payments made to his then lawyer, Michael Cohen, for helping bury stories alleging Trump had extramarital sexual encounters. The case centers on payoffs to 2 women, porn actor Stormy Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal, as well as to a Trump Tower doorman who claimed to have a story about Trump having a child out of wedlock. Trump says he didn't have any of the alleged sexual encounters. Cohen paid Daniels $130,000 and arranged for the publisher of the National Enquirer supermarket tabloid to pay McDougal $150,000 in a practice known as catch and kill. The Trump Organization then reimbursed Cohen at an amount far more than what he'd spent, prosecutors said. The company logged the payments, delivered in monthly installments, and a year-end bonus check as legal expenses, prosecutors said. Over several months, Cohen said he got $420,000. The records at issue include general ledger entries, invoices, and checks that prosecutors say were falsified. And let me add to that, there's also an audio recording between Michael Cohen and Donald Trump setting up this illegal payment scheme. The article continues. Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records. The charge is a Class E felony in New York. It's punishable by up to 4 years in prison, though there is no guarantee that a conviction would result in jail time. Because it's a state case, Trump would not be able to pardon himself if he were to become president again. Presidential pardons only apply to federal crimes. About Donald Trump's prosecution up in New York. That Donald Trump is indicted on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. It's only 34 felony counts that Donald Trump is facing. So there's a certain symmetry there, friends. Because remember this case, the New York hush money case, that was the first time a former president of the United States had ever been criminally indicted. And now it looks like this one might also be the first case to go to trial if that March 25 trial date holds. Donald Trump's March 25th trial. So as we wait to see what the Supreme Court will do with Donald Trump's absurd absolute immunity claim, such that the D.C. federal prosecution for Trump trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election results can get a firm trial date set. And while we continue to watch to see what's going on down in Florida in Donald Trump's other federal felony prosecution, that one for unlawfully retaining classified information, for obstructing justice by violating a grand jury subpoena for the return of the classified documents, and for a violation of our nation's espionage laws, we will wait to see if Judge Cannon keeps the May 20th trial date firmly in place or decides to do yet another favor, though, for Donald Trump and kick that trial date down the road. And as we watch Georgia and we see the Fani Willis issue play out and we await a firm trial date in Donald Trump's RICO case down in Georgia, we will remain in a New York state of mind